All right, let's go. It is Wednesday, February 27th. Listen, I've been saying I'm really excited about MMT bursting out into the mainstream. You know, I've said this. I've been working on spreading the concepts of MMT for the last 18 years. I was out there a long time ago on Fox and other networks talking about MMT when it was completely ridiculed and I was laughed at. I even pitched MMT shows to a bunch of networks. I pitched it to Fox. They weren't interested. I pitched it to CNN. Yeah, they weren't interested. I pitched it to CNBC. Wasn't interested. I met with the president of CNBC, Mark Hoffman, back in 2011. Wasn't interested. I pitched it to Bloomberg Television. All of these places. I even pitched it to RT. The Russian network. Nobody was interested in it at the time. Maybe they'll come up with a show now. I don't know. But I was way ahead of my time. This is 2010, 2011. I was pitching an MMT-based show. You want to hear something funny? When I pitched it to CNBC, Mark Hoffman, who's the president of CNBC, and who I met with at the time, actually, there was some interest over there by, and I forget her name. She was the producer of Kramer's show, what is it, Mad Money or something like that. She was interested. She took me around. She introduced me to Mark Hoffman, the president, and Mark Hoffman told me, oh, we already talk about that stuff. It's ridiculous. They don't. If they talk about it, they talk about it in a demeaning way. They don't talk about it in an intelligent way with a true understanding of it. Anyway, I pitched it all over the place and nobody wanted to do it. Whatever. Right now, I use my MMT concepts to trade and invest and make money in the markets. By the way, on that note, let me just remind you that my primary subscription service, MMT Trader, the subscription rate goes up on Friday. Friday's March 1st. It goes up to $250 a month. You could still lock it in at $195 a month if you go to my website pitbulleconomics.com and sign up for a 30-day free trial. You will get the $195 rate. That goes up to $250 on Friday, and again, I'll just repeat it for the umpteenth time. I am the only one. What I do is completely unique. I am the only one who has taken the concepts of MMT and applied them into a trading and investing approach. Nobody else does this. There are a lot of MMT academics out there talking about it. I'm very happy about that. I'm happy to see that happen. As somebody who has been, putting out the concepts of MMT for 18 years, I'm happy to see that it has burst into the mainstream. You had Powell talking about it yesterday, wrongly, just kind of arrogantly dismissing it. But outside of that academic and that sort of policy discussion, I am the only one who has come up with an applied approach to MMT. That's my report, MMT Trader. Currently $195 a month, going up to $250 a month. And there's nothing else like it out there. And it is worth far more than the current subscription rate. Anyway, on that note. On Monday, when Trump tweeted, hey OPEC, take it easy, remember, and I talked about that, I did a video and I sent out an email to my subscribers almost immediately as that tweet came out. And I said, expect a zombie reaction for crude to go down. And sure enough, it did. It dropped like over 3% that day. But that day, we were buyers on the dip. I said, number one, the Saudis are not going to be fooled again. All right? That was just my speculation on that part. I don't have any inside intel into the Saudis, but I sensed that the last time they did it, Trump went right after that and pulled the rug out from under their feet and issued waivers to a bunch of countries with respect to the purchase of Iranian oil. So the Saudis complied, they lifted output, and then Trump issued the waivers, and that was like a double whammy on the oil price, and it coincided with the fourth quarter slowdown in the economy. I said, you don't have those conditions anymore, and I doubt very much, the Saudis are going to be fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I think I'm right about that because the Saudi oil minister, he's already talking about an extension of the current cuts into the second half of this year. So that his comments, which by the way were just a few hours ago, came after the Trump saying, hey, take it easy. So they're not paying attention right now. Now, we bought into that dip. Now, you see today in the EIA report, and I have been bullish on the oil market now, even though we have seen, the last 5, 6, 7 weeks of crude inventory builds, but as I say every week, that EIA report contains so much information. You can't just look at the headline build or drawdown in inventories on crude. Maybe some people think they're smart, they're looking at gasoline. That's not enough. There's a lot of information in there. You have to know how to synthesize it. There's information on demand, there's information on imports, there's information on exports, there's information on production. There's all kinds of information in there. You have to know how to synthesize it. And I laugh when I see the zombies, as soon as that inventory number comes out on Wednesday morning, they're buying or selling based on that one number. By the way, my other report, Zombie Trading, which is a Forex signal service, we take advantage of that in the very short term because we trade oil-sensitive currency pairs like Canadian dollar or Canada versus yen based on how we know the zombies are going to react. It's so easy. It's like having the money, the profits just handed to you by these people who are so easy to predict how they are going to react. So we do that in my other report, Zombie Trading, where you can also sign up for a 30-day free trial of that at my website, pitbulleconomics.com. So yeah, oil is back to the pre-Trump tweet levels in the mid-57 handle. And, we're looking at significant cuts, which are going to increase in March. We are also looking at now the Saudis saying, hey, second half of the year, we're going to have to extend these cuts. Plus you have the Venezuela situation. Plus you have the Iran situation where these waivers that were handed out last year are going to expire. Plus you have a rebound in economic growth probably happening now in the first quarter of 2019. So you have a lot of new conditions that have entered the market. Stock market, 2,800 so far has proven to be the resistance, technical resistance. As I mentioned in a prior video, I said we had 3 tops there last year. They were turned away. The market was turned away each time. It led to that ridiculous, irrational, highly emotional plunge in December, which culminated in the Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve collapse, and then straight up. And remember, all that time I was saying you got to buy that dip. That is a correction. There were all kind of forecasts of, oh, this is terrible. This is going to be 2008 all over again. Everything's freezing up. Credit conditions are tightening. That was all bogus. That was all bogus. And what followed was the biggest January rise in 30 years. I was saying in December, buy that market. I had people crying. Subscribers, oh, you told me to buy and it went down some more. Hey, remember, perfection is the destroyer of results. It is impossible. If you are out there in some kind of a search for the absolute perfection of the bottom tick to buy and the top tick to sell, you are lost. You are going nowhere. Okay? An inability to take action. Results stem from action. Action can only occur when you have confidence. And confidence comes from knowing that even if you are somewhat off or wrong, you have the ability to work through that. All right? This pursuit of perfection, thinking that lines on a chart or some kind of squiggles or pattern or something like that is going to give you perfection, you will get nowhere. I have eliminated that completely from the approach. We make money every single time. It's all mental game. All mental game. Yesterday I detailed in a video 2 traits, maybe 3 traits of individuals who sabotage themselves. And these are very common. I see this all the time. And since I've been in this kind of coaching and teaching mode now for a number of years, it is very obvious to me. Very obvious to me. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to break this behavior. It is not. I'll be the first one to tell you. And there's really only one way to break this behavior. There's only one way. Okay, I can't say to you there's a magic trick or you just have to do these things and it'll break the behavior. You have to think in a certain way. No, there's only one way to break the behavior. And that is to put yourself in the most uncomfortable and stressful positions all the time. You have to, and it, by the way, this not just applies to trading and investing. This applies to growth. Growth comes from resistance. This applies to life. You know how many times you hear the phrase, you gotta go outside the envelope, push outside the envelope, push past your limits. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable, difficult, and stressful positions all the time and adapt yourself to that, the feeling that that is the environment you have to deal in all the time. How do you do that? There's a number of ways to do that. If you want to find out more, you got to sign up. Go to pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader. Remember, the price is going up, $250 a month. It's still a bargain, but it's going up. You can get it for $195 now. Price is going up on Friday. All right, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.